Okay, so welcome to the last tutorial for this section. In this tutorial, what we'll be going to do is we'll be making use of all the concepts we have learned so far for making a very simple menu-driven program. We'll basically be giving user a choice for the figure which he wants, right? So we'll be displaying various figures like circle, square, rectangle, etc. And whatever figure the user chooses, will go on displaying the area till the user wants it to, which basically means that we'll need to repeat the menu many times till the user chooses to exit, right? So let's get started. The very first thing which we need is we need to display the menu. So let's go ahead and display the menu. Now I want you guys to pay a close attention to how I am arranging the code. I am doing it step by step. So very first thing is, which area do you want? Because the most important part of programming is how you arrange the code, right? How efficiently you arrange it, and that's what decides which code is better, right? So the very first thing I like is the circle here, then say square, and rectangle. So let's go ahead with three choices, sounds good. And fourth one will obviously be exit, right? So there we have our menu. Now we need to take the input for choice, so we'll say enter your choice, and we'll read the value for choice. Ampersand choice. Now here we find that we do not have any variable named choice, so we'll go ahead and declare a variable choice. Now in C, the variable declaration is done at the beginning, so if you try to declare choice here, you will get an error and the program will not run. So make sure that all the variables which you need to make or use, you do it before any other piece of code here. Now why I did this is that why I did not initialize or declare choice before using it here is that I do not want to waste the memory space, right? So after coming here, I realized that I need a variable for storing choice, and that is why I went ahead and I initialized one. Because if I declare all the variables here from the very beginning, I might or might not use all of them, and that results in wastage of memory. So that's what I told you guys to pay close attention to this one, because I'm basically telling you guys how to think while coding. So since we needed a choice variable, we went ahead and we made one. Now the next thing which we need to do is we need to actually write some switch case or if else, whatever you guys want to use. So I'll go ahead with switch case here because we are dealing with four choices and I'm very lazy for typing that if else ladder. So I'll go ahead with choice, and case 1 will be printf the area of oh wait, before actually taking the area, we need to take the radius of the circle, right? So we'll go ahead and we'll say enter the radius, and again we realize that we do not have a variable for radius. So we'll scan, and radius can be a floating point number, so we'll go ahead with float and we'll say radius. Now again we realize that we have not created the variable radius yet, so we'll go ahead and we'll make a variable called radius here. Okay, then now we can easily calculate the area. So we'll say the area of the circle is, and we'll display the value of area, which basically will be radius into 3.14 into 3.14, right? 3.14, perfect. So pi r square, I hope I am right with the formula, right? And we need the break keyword again. And now for the second case, we'll have to take the side of the square. So we'll enter the side, and again we realize that we have not created any variable for side. Now even side can be float, so let's go ahead with float. So we'll again go ahead and we'll make a variable called side. Now as you can see, I am making variables as and when I need them so that I do not waste memory space. So again we'll say the area of the square is, and the area of the square is side square, so I'll say side into side. Okay, and break again. For the third case now, we actually need to take in two values. We need to take in enter the length and breadth. So instead of doing it in two statements, let's try doing it in one single scanf statement. So we'll write 2 percentage d here, or let's go ahead with percentage f only. So we'll write percentage f two times, and we'll write ampersand length and comma ampersand breadth. So that is how we actually take two values using the same scanf statement, and you can even take 3 to 4 values in a single statement. It is possible. Okay, then again we'll have a break statement, but before that we need to print the area. So we'll go ahead and we'll print the area of the rectangle is, the area of the rectangle is, we can deal with a few typos, no issues there. And we'll write length into breadth. Okay, looks good. And the fourth case is exit, so we'll go ahead with the default one here. We'll say printf you chose to exit or something. Cool. And now we are done with the switch case. So let's quickly take a look at whatever we have done so far. We have displayed the menu, we have taken the choice, and we have compared the choice values, and accordingly we have written the code for calculating the area. Excellent. Now the only thing remaining is that I said that we'll be repeating this piece of code till the user presses exit. So we basically need to add a do while loop in here. Now I'll tell you the reason why we are using a do while loop, because if you guys remember that in the do while loops video I told you that a do while loop functions in a certain special way, and that is that it is an exit control loop, right? We want to provide the user a menu. We cannot just show him away for the very first time, because whenever a customer enters a restaurant, he may or may not need eat anything, but he at least sees the menu, right? He checks the menu once, and if he likes something, then only he will order. So similarly we'll have to make sure that we display our menu at least once before the customer exits. So if you guys use a for or a while loop here, the condition will fail for the very first time and the loop body will not run even once. So that is the only reason we are using a do while loop here. And here we'll go ahead and add the while statement, and the condition will be while choice is greater than 0 and choice is less than 4, right? So that will be the condition for the while loop, because we have values of 1 2 3, and on the value of 4 the code should exit, right? So that's what this while loop will do. We actually don't need these brackets, so let's get rid of them. Right, so now the code looks good to me. Let's see if it runs or not. If we get any errors, we can fix them always. Okay, so now we see that the length and breadth is undeclared, so obviously we forgot to declare them. So let's go ahead and make two new variables by the name of length and breadth respectively, and there was no other error, I guess. So let's again run it and see. Perfect. Which area do you want? A circle, square, rectangle? I prefer square, because calculation of side square is very easy. So let's say I enter 4 here, I should get 16. So there we go. I get the area of square is 16.0000, which basically means that it is a floating point number. Now again the menu is displayed for me, so as I said, we'll be displaying it again and again till the user presses enter. So let's try using rectangle this time. So since we press 3 or rectangle, it is asking for the length and breadth. Let's say the length is 3 and the breadth is 6. The area is 18. Again I have the menu. Let's try the circle out as well quickly. So the radius will be 4, and I don't want to calculate this because I trust my computer and it will be right. And now let's go ahead and exit the code. So now since I entered 4, it's showing me that I choose to exit and the process return, which basically means that the code is complete and the program has quit. Right, so that is how you actually apply all the tidbits you have learned here and there for making one program. And just remember the flow, how I explained the flow, because if you have initialized everything at the very beginning and then you try to use them here, it becomes a very tedious task to actually monitor which variables we use and which variables are just wasting the memory. So make sure you declare variables as and when you need them, because you really don't need to sit down and count that I'll be needing these variables while beginning the code. So just go ahead with whatever you have in mind, and whenever you are confused with something, you can always go ahead and declare a new variable, right? So that was all about this tutorial for now. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in next one.